there! Let's do a video about our goals and about plans and about WIPs in 2023. Happy New Year, by the way! Hi there! So, Happy New Year! Welcome to the first video of 2023 on the Shurido YouTube channel. My name is Irene and I make videos about quilting, quilting, yes, everything that has to do with quilting. So last week I did a year in review from a quilting perspective. Click on the link somewhere in the screen or in the description down below to watch that one. And there I already mentioned something about WIPs, work in progresses, that we will be discussing today. Well, we will save that for the end of this video. I have a very exciting plan for tackling our WIPs together this year. But first, I would love to start the new year by chatting with you about our goals and our plans for 2023. Yes, I think lots of tea happening in 2023. But yeah, so for this video, goals and plans. And goals and I have kind of a special relationship because I love setting goals. I think there are previous videos of me on this YouTube channel where I set goals, and then at the end of the year, if I would look back on them, not all of them or not many of them were realized because, well, life always happens. But I love making lists of all the projects that I would want to make or all the things that I would love to do within Shurido. And then when you make that list, it looks so simple. It's just as if it's already almost there. So there's a long way from starting to finishing a project or setting up a quilt along or writing a book or making a course. But yeah, when I write it down, it all looks so doable. So even now I have planned already. I have a big wall planner there, and I've planned out the whole year for 2023 of all the projects that I would love to do. And I tried to not put too many projects on there, but already it feels like a lot. So I think my goal for 2023 is to not set a lot of goals, and maybe set goals in a different way. I'm not sure how to tackle this, but what I do know is that when I just plan my whole year, it never goes as planned. So maybe I should try something new and set goals in a different way. So like last video, I asked some questions and took you with me in the year in review, and that's also something we can do together with setting goals. So I don't have a whole list of questions, but just a few things to think about. So we can set goals as projects that we want to make, like quilts that we have in mind, patterns that we want to try, or maybe you have a book that you want to make a project from. So those are all very kind of concrete, this is what I want to make, and then you can just plan ahead. But you can also look at goal setting in a different way. So those projects and listing those are kind of, what do you want to accomplish in a year? So maybe that's for work or for quilting. For me, that would be, do I want to organize a quilt along, and how should that, what should that look like? Or do I want to finish my book? Or yes, the book is almost finished, so that is really going to happen this year. Or do I want to create an e-course? Those are things that you can accomplish. But a different goal that you could set, and that I am leaning more towards, is how do I want to feel this year? And making that more priority than what do I want to accomplish, because it feels more realistic, more doable to set a goal in that way, because I'm never sure how much time I have at hand, because life happens, and when one of the kids gets sick, a week goes by and then I don't really do anything. So then being behind on schedule, those things happen. So focusing more on how do I want to feel feels like more in my control. And with the setting goals on how would I like to feel is also a part of that, I guess, is also what I would love to that's a silly sentence. What would I love my day to look like? So when I would describe the perfect day in my life, what would it look like? And can you pick a little bit from that and incorporate it in each day? So that is something that I want to sit with this week, next week, to think about and to write about. For me, journaling always helps to put my thoughts on paper and to organize that a little bit. And I think that is going to get my focus this year. Even though I would love to just make a list and see that happen this year, I think it's more realistic still with those kids being little, to set how do I want to feel and what would I love my days to look like. And something that from that I can incorporate in running my business is maybe having 1 week every month of a calling it a slow week or an extra week, so that I do plan, because of course I do plan things for my business, but I'm playing with this idea of planning it for 3 weeks and then having 1 week a slow week. And when everything goes perfectly smooth in those 3 weeks and I can get everything done, then I have an extra week, or I can take some days off, or I can, I don't know, redecorate the baby room for Ella, who is not a baby anymore but still needs to have her room redecorated. I have time for that when everything goes smoothly, and when things don't go smoothly, then I will have a week to catch up. So I think that is something practical that I can include in my year. Yeah, so what would you love your year to look like? Are you more like a person to make a list of things you want to accomplish, and maybe you're not like me, probably you're not like me, and you do accomplish a lot of what you put on your list. But maybe you can also think about how would you love to feel during your day. What are things that make your day a good day? And when you're aware of that, you can incorporate that more. So for me, running does make me super happy, so I give that more and more priority. So I do start every Wednesday with our running group. And yes, those are a few hours of the morning that I could also work, but when I start the day with running, I know that helps on that day and the day after and the day after. So yeah, those little things that help, you can incorporate in your days. And the question, what would you love your days to look like? When I would have asked myself that last year, I would just have said, I would love to sleep the whole day and don't have all the responsibilities of a little baby. But at that time, of course, that wasn't realistic. But still, when you have that need, then you can think, how can I incorporate something like that, or a little piece of that in my days to set goals around that. So maybe that could be to include a nap, or to go to bed a little bit earlier, or to have some alone time to recharge every day. So yeah, tuning into what you would love for yourself and then setting goals for that. That's really nice. And if you want, you can also track those goals. So you could make a list that you can check off every day. Maybe you want to make it a priority to do some kind of stitching or some kind of needlework or quilting every day, then you can make a list in a journal and just check it off and see if you manage to do it every day. And don't be too hard on yourself when you miss a day. Yes, not being too hard on yourself is a good thing, I guess. Yeah, so yeah, that's, I guess, for my goal setting this year. I'm really curious what you are having in mind for this year. Do you have any goals? Do you make specific lists? Please do let me know in the comments down below. I would love to read about it. So, but of course, with goals, there's also new plans and new projects that I want. And it's not, I run a quilting business to design quilting patterns and to sell quilting kits. So that just goes on, and I don't want to have a empty year calendar. So of course I have things on my calendar that I would love to see come to be realized. Yeah, so the things that I have on my list are, of course, my book. Oh, it has been a long time that book has been in progress, but I really feel that this year, beginning of this year, is the time to bring it out, to put it out in the world, and to really finish it. And with the book, I want to do a quilt along. So there is a very big sampler in the book, a very big quilt. And I'm not really going to do a quilt along with that, because that would be, I guess, a long year of making all those blocks and a very big quilt along. But what I would love to do is to include loads of smaller projects in the book as well. And then, like you see here, these are not from the book, but just to get the idea of mini quilts to go on a mini quilting adventure with you. Just to pick a small project from the book and to do a quilt along with that. So it's nice and doable, and make some videos to support you in that, to help you pick fabrics and to help you with the quilting in a mini project, or to turn it into a pillow or something. Yeah, just to help you from the start to finish with a small project from the book, because there's endless of possibilities of projects that are that you can make with the book. So that is something that I really look forward to in the beginning of this year, and also the main focus of me right now. So when I'm working in the studio, I am working on my book to help that get finished. Yeah, so there are two, yeah, I think two other big things that I want to do, and a few smaller ones. So in, I guess, March, I'm receiving very fun dinosaur fabrics that I ordered, and those are coming in around March, and I'm thinking of a very fun quilt, more boyish kind of quilt. Of course you can also make them for girls, but I guess there aren't many cool patterns for boys around, so I'm planning to do that, and I will be making some kits with it, and a remake of this quilt, the Follow Me quilt with those arrows. That is also coming out somewhere next year. But those are smaller projects. The two bigger ones that I have in mind are one that I can't really share yet, but it has to do something with my trip to Houston, which will be in next week's video. There will be the vlog about Houston, and with a huge giveaway. So I got a ton of goodies from companies that I met at market, and so when I say Houston, I went to Quilt Market, and I got a ton of goodies, and I'm giving those away next week with the video, so make sure to check that one out. But yeah, I went there to meet up with the company, and with that company we're going to do something super fun this year. So that is another big thing that's coming up, and that is certainly going to happen this year. And the third big thing that I want to do this year is to finally launch my foundation paper piecing design course. So many of you let me know that you would love to learn how to design foundation paper piecing patterns, and I would love to teach you. So I would really love to set up a design academy to teach you all about how to design your own patterns. And yeah, so that's a big one that I would love to do. But yeah, so that is on the end of the year, and we have to see how that goes. So yeah, those are plans and things I would love to for this year. But I'm going to focus more on my work day and how every day is going, and taking small steps. So yeah, that is my goals and plans for this year. And then let's chat about work in progresses. So let's talk about WIPs. And we as quilters have a ton of WIPs. At least I do. And I know a few quilters. I heard about a few quilters that only have 1 or 2 WIPs, and that sounds amazing to me. That you can really focus on one project and finish it and then pick out a new one. Maybe that's you. That's awesome. But for everyone else who has a ton of WIPs laying around, I want to set up a kind of a support system this year, 2023, to help us stay motivated and stay on top of those WIPs. What I noticed last year is that when those WIPs get out of sight, so when I put them in a bin and the bin goes into a closet, I just forgot about it and I don't remember that WIP, and then it's not on top of mind, and I don't work on it as much. So what I would love to do is to make a quarterly check-in kind of thing where I just film my WIPs and talk about how they are going. That will keep myself motivated and on top of my projects. But I would also love that for you. So what I'm going to do is send out emails. I guess it's going to be monthly, with some motivation and just checking in with you how it's going with your WIPs. And when you sign up for those emails, you will also get from me a planner for your WIPs, where you can really track the progress of a quilting project, and see, cross off where you are at and what needs to be done for that project, so you have a complete overview. And when I made that list for all my WIPs, I went in a few months from 20 to 13 WIPs. So just noticing all the WIPs and making a list of it and keeping track already helped me to work on it more. So that list you can get, and also a little bit more general list for WIPs when you also want to include your crochet WIPs and your knitting WIPs. And I will also include a printable for just a project sheet that you can include in your WIP box, in your project box or project bag, so you can write down anything from, I don't know, stitch length that you're using on your machine, to the type of needle or the batting or the pattern or the designer, or maybe a link to a tutorial that you're using for that project, so that you have everything in place. So when you're picking up that project again after a few months, that you know where you were at and how you can continue that one. So a few free printables that you will get when you sign up for those emails, and there will be a hashtag, Tackle That WIP. That one I used before, a few years ago, I guess, to help tackle some WIPs. So you can find that all in the description down below. You will find the link to my blog post where I explain it all. So yeah, so I think just a fun thing to encourage each other to keep on top of those WIPs. So it's going to be on Instagram as well. When you're working on a whip or you want to share something, just use that hashtag and I can check in with you, or just tag me at Shiridu, and I would love to see what you're working on, and we will do a quarterly check-in on Insta with the hashtag, and also with the video from me on YouTube. So yeah, that's the idea for the whips. Let's see if I forget something about that. No, I guess I shared everything. Yeah. So I'm excited for the new year, and I can't wait to see those projects come to life and to share everything about the secret project with you. Yeah, I really can't wait to share more about that. And I am going to share as soon as I can with you. Hope to not leave you waiting too long for that. So for next week, do check out the video about Quilt Market, a little behind the scenes of what's going on over there, because only quilting companies or quilting related, well, business related quilting people can go there. And it's awesome. It's so cool to look around, and I filmed a lot of the booth and companies, and well, they shared a lot of goodies for the goodie bag, and you can win that by just watching the video. So have a lovely year. I will see you again next week, and hope to see you also in the Tackle That WIP encouragement kind of program, whatever you do. Have a lovely day. See you soon. Bye.